This is your source for genre news, album reviews, and commentary on all things heavy. The Metal Pod. Here are your hosts, Brendan Flum and George Fong.
Hello and welcome to the 20th and final episode of the Metal Pod.
Damn.
It's really happening.
It really is.
Got a fucking Nine Inch Nails shirt on, 2007 Downward Spiral tour.
Sick.
Yeah, my buddy got it for me for Halloween. It's actually a real tour shirt. Obviously I didn't see them. I was 7 years old. I didn't even know what metal was.
George.
Young George, yeah, Nine Inch Nails. Liam, if you listen to Ghosts, hope you liked it. What shirt you got on? I
figured, it's our last episode. What kind of shirt am I going to wear for the last episode? It was a tough choice, but final decision was why rep one band when I can rep them all.
Perfect.
And I don't know if anyone can see that. But
yeah, you can see there's a bunch of logos on there.
It's got all the bands.
It's got like all thrash.
Yeah, like literally pretty much.
If you look at the head, at like the billboard for download, it looks like that.
Yeah, it does.
It literally looks like everything that was on that tour.
Yeah, and the front just says famous headbangers, so there's no hair metal or any shit like that. But yeah, I got this in Austin, Texas at a really cool music store. So
cool.
It's one of my favorite shirts.
Sweet.
It's got all the bands, so
awesome.
Yeah. Well,
metal news?
For the last time, I'm saying metal news. Yeah, so I guess the first thing I got down here just says hours. If you're listening to this, it means you heard George and I on Thee Hourz O Power on Impact 89 FM.
So glad to have done that with them.
Yeah, and we haven't even done it yet at the time that we're recording this. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, and I'm sure it's going to turn out pretty kick-ass. So,
yeah.
Yeah, if you did tune into that, thank you.
Yep.
And
you're hearing a lot more of me on there.
Yeah, George, you're going to have a whole year of George and Trent.
That's part of my one hot, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. Yeah, let me pull up this little, we're not doing book club anymore.
Magazine club.
Yeah. We talked about Metal Hammer last week. Here's an issue right here with Alexi Laiho on the cover. It's a whole like in memoriam issue for him because he obviously passed away at the beginning of this year. And that brings me to the metal news of Bodom After Midnight, which is the band he formed after Children of Bodom.
Oh.
Their first release will be coming out. If you're listening to this, it's out already.
Check it out.
Yeah, dropping on April 23rd. So
okay.
It's called Paint the Sky with Blood. So
great.
Yeah, pretty death metal shit. Yep. Last piece of metal news. This is a big and important one. The Oscars this year. Have you heard anything? Do you watch the Oscars, etc.?
Never.
You never watch the Oscars?
Never.
You're a film student and you don't watch the Oscars?
I barely watch movies. I make them.
That was probably the best response anyone could say. But yeah, it's a pretty metal year at the Oscars, I gotta say. Like,
okay.
At the time we're recording this, it's before the Oscars. We're dropping this episode before the Oscars. Those are going to take place on April 25th.
Right.
But the nominees, there are a lot of metal related things. Have you heard of a movie called The Sound of Metal?
Yeah.
Well, The Sound of Metal, do you know what it's about?
It's about a metal drummer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's about all I know about it.
Yeah, it's about a metal drummer in a band called Black Gammon. It's fictional, of course.
Cool.
But he loses his hearing. And it's just about him trying to... The tagline of the movie is, music was his world, then silence revealed a new one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it should win Best Picture, not only because it's metal as fuck, but it's just a genuinely good movie.
Okay.
It's nominated for 6 Oscars, which is pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Best Picture, Best Actor, supporting actor, original screenplay, film editing.
Oh, cool.
Film editing and sound.
Okay, wow. So it's up there.
Yeah.
It's just all around a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah, you would like it. I mean, it's not
Is it metal as fuck, or is it more like about relationships and stuff?
It's more about relationships and stuff. There's like probably one concert scene, I would say.
Okay.
But it's one of the most unique movies I've seen just in terms of sound alone.
Okay.
Because it makes you, without saying too much, it makes you feel like you're experiencing the deafness with him in a way.
Okay, sure.
It's really cool. Yeah, but that's Sound of Metal. Have you heard anything about your boy, Trent Reznor?
No.
Well, Mr. Reznor and Atticus Ross, who both make up Nine Inch Nails, of course.
Yeah.
They are nominated for not one, but 2 different movies for Best Original Score.
Which ones?
Mank.
Okay.
Which is about like 1930s Hollywood. I've seen it. Really good score.
Okay.
And then Soul, which is
oh yeah, I forgot they scored that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I've not got around to seeing Soul because I'm a grown man at this point. I don't really.
Hey man, cartoons are for everyone.
No, I agree, and that kind of brings me to my next Oscar here. Is did you see the movie Onward?
No.
It's a Pixar movie, and
2 Pixar movies on the list here.
Yeah. Onward is about these 2 metalhead wizard guys. It got nominated for Best Animated Feature, so I mean, it's something, I guess.
2 metal guys, like heavy metal guys?
Like, yeah, I guess. I mean, they don't
2 metal, what do you mean metal wizards?
Like they live in like a fantasy land.
Like rebel wizard type shit? Like metal wizards? Or like metallic wizards?
No, they're not made of metal. They're just 2 guys who like metal. They're brothers. They go on this quest, essentially.
Oh, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, it's a good Pixar movie. So, yeah, lots of metal to Oscars. So I'll be tuning in for sure.
Great.
Yeah,
good to hear it.
Yeah, that's all I got for metal news. So.
All right. I don't even know where to start, I guess.
Well, we're going to start at the end because this is the last pod that we're ever going to do.
Yeah. What do you mean start at the end?
I was just fucking around.
I mean, we should probably start at the beginning.
For sure.
It's been a great year. We wanted to do the pod in my apartment because that was the inception of the pod. I mean...
Yep. It's coming full circle right now.
Yeah, exactly. We started here. We moved to your apartment, basically, for a little bit, for a couple episodes.
Yep.
Then the studio.
Yep.
Then back out of the studio, and now we're here again.
And then we did some Zoom ones, obviously.
Yeah, some Zoom ones, obviously.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. So it's been a great year. I mean, we basically started this because we wanted to talk about metal. Neither of us were... there was no like slots open on the Hours of Power.
Right.
We wanted to just do something for us that we enjoyed, like during this basically what was a shit year.
Yeah. Very shit year.
This has been the one constant, like throughout the year. If anything, we missed 2 weeks out of the whole year on purpose.
Right. We took some
spring break.
Intentional bye weeks.
Besides that, we had an episode a week.
20 weeks, man. That's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot.
Multiple guests.
Yeah,
all our buddies.
Yep.
Some tragic moments. Some tears were shed. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Some blissful moments as well. We laughed and cried on the pod.
Yeah.
We had metal artists die and metal artists be born on the pod.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Just my 2 cents off of that is, I'm kind of glad we didn't do ours. Like, this is, in a way, better.
Cooler.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're going to be on ours, so it'll be fun. You're going to be on ours for a whole year, so you're really getting the best of both worlds.
Right.
But, like, I don't know, it's just cool.
It's cool to do it, that we got to do it our way.
Yeah, exactly.
Total creative freedom, like... What's more metal than that, man?
Exactly.
There's no path for us. Well, we'll fucking make a path, kind of thing.
Yeah. Build a fucking wall.
And I mean, honestly, bro, it was fucking hard. Like, first the technical difficulties, then the remote stuff. Yeah. Like, it was just a lot.
It was
at times. I mean, I have not been doing graphics for like the past 3 or 4, just because it's so time consuming.
It is.
Like school and everything. But I wouldn't, trade it for anything. Mm-hmm. I have 20 playlists to listen to now whenever I want. each one different for a different mood.
Yep.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for new playlists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what we can do is just to give the listeners a sense of what we go through every week in terms of doing this. And I guess the pilot is probably the best way to start, because that's probably was the most typical of our times doing this. I guess, you know, we literally just hang out and talk about what we want to talk about, plan it all out.
Yep.
That's one day. Another day we'll record it like we're doing right now.
Yep.
Another day we'll edit it. And then, I mean, George obviously has been doing most of the editing. I had to go to the fucking Com Arts building every time I did edit.
That didn't work.
That was a bitch. Those computers need to be, they need to be updated for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's
not even that. It's like, we'll have like 2 or 3 calls a week. It's not just like a one and doneer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like we'll have like 2 or 3 short calls a week to like iron out the whole thing, shoot the damn thing, edit it, and then like
make the playlist,
make sure the picks of the week are there, which I haven't been doing.
Coordinate with guests when we have
make
guests.
sure I got everyone tagged and shit.
Yeah. Social media,
yeah, and then posting it on everything at the same time, which I figured out you can schedule posts on everything. Before I was just doing it manually. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What was your favorite episode?
My favorite episode. I have different favorites for different reasons.
You fucking just pick one.
Yeah, I know. I'd say the one with my dad. Obviously, like that was just. See, and you're laughing because you had a good time too. So I mean,
that's a great one.
Yeah, and
it was like an hour and 45.
Yeah, but I think it also has our biggest amount of viewership.
Yeah, for sure.
More than any other episode, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the Suet Pod Boys one.
That was probably the next one I was going to say.
That was really fun.
Yeah. I'll also say anyone that we got to do in the studio, because
those are all great.
Just being in the studio is a power move for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say for this segment? The topic?
Yeah, I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, like
this is it. Yeah, man. I mean, all this
it's been
stuff.
a whole year.
Pretty much.
More than a year, because we started this in.
It's not more than a year. I mean, we started this in October.
Oh, right.
Week of Halloween was our first episode.
Right. Oh yeah, it hasn't been a year. It's been a whole school year.
It's been a school year for sure. And what I was gonna say is, you know, it's work, but it doesn't feel like work because we're talking about metal,
right?
Which we love more than anything,
right?
And talking about metal with a friend is like, you know, it makes my life have meaning in a way.
Yeah,
and that sounds really sad, but
yeah. Like I'll tell Flum like dumbass metal jokes that only he would get, or like only metalheads would get, really.
Yeah.
When we're at like a party, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like over the weekend we were.
Oh my God.
We were in Grand Rapids at a social gathering, and there was a person there that had a beard and he was bald, and he looked like the lead singer of Meshuggah. So I just kept saying him all night. I'm like, oh, Jens Kidman over there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he was not acting very metal. He was acting very douchey.
Yeah.
And I will leave it at that. But yeah, Meshuggah's cool. That guy was not.
Yeah, right.
But
that was a hilarious night.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
It was. Yeah. I'm so sick of talking about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But
you've been talking about it too much?
Yeah, because everyone's been asking me, like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? And anyone listening to this who wants to know a story, I will gladly tell them off camera. But
right.
It's way too time consuming for right now. And yeah, what would you say? We've had some pretty good titles for these episodes.
Oh, there's so many good ones.
There are a lot.
Did you see the last one?
Yeah. What the fuck was that, by the way?
421, man.
Yeah, but like, what did it mean?
The voluptuous worship. No. The prophecy came and it was soaked in the common fool's 420.
Yeah, but what is that?
It's a Rebel Wizard song.
Oh, okay.
But obviously 420's not in it.
Right.
Oh, my favorite one is probably what is it?
Oh, you couldn't damn that, Chris.
You couldn't damn that old school River of Deceit.
Oh my God. Dude, he was like, when you called the playlist that, he was like, what the fuck is this?
It's like undecipherable. Like,
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I think in terms of just, I don't know, add sell, but who's voting for election week?
Pretty topical.
Yeah.
Like really good.
Yeah. Good friends and a bottle of pure American metal. I'd say that encapsulates the whole metal pod.
That's pretty good.
You know what I mean?
Chance Stein.
Yeah, that was something.
Oh, what about the time of the 90s begun? Get out of the way or you will suffer a Slipknot.
Yeah. I think funniest for me is probably just Hammer Smashed Nick Death.
Yeah, that one's good.
Just because it's
What
funny.
about St. Valentine shot me with an arrow of Marilyn hate? That one's probably the most convoluted, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. But it's all good. Yeah.
We're channeling our inner Rob Zombie here.
Yeah, long ass titles.
Convoluted titles that make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Titles. What do you think was probably...
Who's our best guest? Besides your dad, I guess. Like a single guest. But so like nothing with more than...
Define best. Just like most fun. Dude, Trent, that was...
Yeah, that was good. My first instinct was to say Nick.
Yeah.
Just because he knew a lot. But
Yeah.
Trent's was definitely like...
It was the most fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Eddie has a great voice for radio. So it's just kind of like...
He does.
I don't know. It's just a good experience doing it with him.
Yeah, and y'all can probably hear him in the background right now. Probably.
Yeah.
He's going off about something.
Yeah, he's going in.
Listening to Molly Crew or whatnot.
That's my co-host now, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird not having you as co-host.
Yeah.
Because... I don't know. He's like the interim metal pod host now. And you're like retiring and he's like taking your position kind of, if you want to think about it that way.
I didn't at all think of it that way.
Well,
but when you put it that way, I guess it makes sense.
Well, I guess it makes sense that you wouldn't think of it that way, but I kind of do because I have a person that I make a metal show with.
Yeah.
And it is you, and then it's going to be him. So it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not really, but it's just kind of funny. Like,
yeah.
I'm still doing a metal show, but with a different person and a different show.
Where you actually get to listen to music, and you'll probably get him a lot into metal now. Which I really like.
I hope so. He'll never tell me. Like, he'll never say it, but he doesn't. I know he like doesn't like the harsh vocals.
Yeah.
He like I could just tell like it's not for him.
I guess.
But I'm gonna be playing some filth, so hopefully he'll get into it.
Which we love to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment, if you have one off the top of your head, if any?
When I trounced you in the vote of Lamb of God versus Pantera.
Well, that's pretty interesting, fella, because everyone I talk to says the exact opposite.
Well, everyone I talked to said exactly what I said. And the Instagram vote.
You put the Instagram vote on your own story.
So? I didn't... It was unbiased.
And you also, when you did the guitar cover... You chose a way better Lamb of God song.
That's not true. I did the most Pantera song, and I did the most Lamb of God song. So I guess that means that Lamb of God's sound is just better.
No. A New Level is not the best in terms
That's the most powerful Pantera song.
Not the guitar itself. You really need Vinny.
Oh, okay.
You do.
So for what would you have chosen?
I mean... Wow, that's tough.
Off Vulgar Display.
Why does that have to be off Vulgar Display?
Just because Vulgar Display is like similar to Ashes of the Wake in terms of like their magnum opus, in my opinion.
That's fair. Honestly,
just like their classic sound. You know, like
I know.
No bullshit, like no like new shit. It's just like that's what you remember them as.
Yes. I'd say the riff that could stand alone the best by itself would Mouth for War, honestly.
That sounds like A New Level kind of. It's like
a New Level is just the whole time. Whereas Mouth for War is like a lot of parts to it.
All right, whatever.
I was going to say Cowboys from Hell. Just that riff by itself is really cool. Because, see, it's tough.
Fuck it. This Love. That's their sound.
Maybe the
riff,
breakdown.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Anyways, let's.
Yeah.
Favorite playlist?
Favorite playlist.
I thought the death metal one was pretty good. And the hardcore one with Evan. That playlist kind of smacks.
That was really good.
Really good.
It was really good.
Shout out Evan for that.
Yeah. I really liked the one that the Hourz crew put together, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
That just had a lot of, it was very diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of...
Halloween one was good. That's a throwback, though. Like, I haven't listened to that one in a minute, just because it's like...
But it is really good.
Yeah.
I'd say any of the ones we did last year, I think, were...
Solid.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like, we talk about this a lot, like having a memory with the music you listen to. I feel like...
Yeah.
Last year, the pod was still kind of new, so like... I don't know. I feel like I had more fun with school last semester than this semester.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I associate those playlists more positively.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, the 421 was just thick.
Very thick.
She thick, for sure.
I got sick of that one. I just listened to it way too much.
Yeah.
I listened to it like 3 times through and I'm like, all right.
Dude, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Pantera Lamb of God one, though. Like,
that one's just fire.
It's just fire from top to bottom. Yeah.
That should just be this week's playlist.
Yeah, honestly. Just Pantera Lamb of God.
That's it.
Yeah. Groove metal the whole time. Well, speaking of Pantera Lamb of God, unless you have more to say about the pod.
I'm good.
Okay. It was it's nice to take a stroll down memory lane right there.
Yeah. We don't dwell too much on the past, though. Takes away from the present.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, speaking of Pantera Lamb of God, we figured for our top 5 this week, and most of these will be making up our companion playlist too in the link below.
Yeah.
We're just going to do our top 5 favorite metal artists of all time because, we've thrown around a lot of different artists on the show, and most of which we like. So I feel like people are confused. I mean, everyone knows I like Pantera. Everyone knows you like Marilyn Manson.
And you like Slipknot.
And you like Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
But like, I want to
set the record.
Yeah, set the record straight. Like, solidify that.
It's time to set the record straight. All this is making me irate.
Sick of my bitching falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I listen to that's. We'll get into it. Who are your top 5 metal artists of all time?
Okay. I guess in no particular order. I mean, Marilyn Manson, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
None of the. I mean, I don't even feel like I have to just like explain any of these.
Fair.
Marilyn Manson, Lamb of God, Alice in Chains, Pantera. Lucky number 5 is Nine Inch Nails.
Okay. You said. Say it again, just so I.
Manson, Lamb of God, Alice in Chains, Pantera, and Nine Inch Nails. So kind of a grungy top 5.
Yeah.
Like Manson can be grungy sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, he can.
Chains is
grunge.
The sound of grunge. And Nine Inch Nails can also be grungy a little bit.
Yeah, in that same time period, for sure.
And then 2 groove metal bands.
Yeah.
The 2 of the best groove metal bands. The two best groove metal bands.
Groove metal bands.
And 2 of the best new wave of American heavy metal bands, period.
Nail in the coffin for that argument. Pantera started the new wave of American heavy metal. So
Metallica.
What?
I guess that's just thrash.
And see, Pantera is the perfect. They're old school and new school at the same time.
We're not going to get into this. What's your 5, man?
My 5, I kind of put it in order, like, and the way I did it was, these are the bands I probably can't live without.
Okay.
Like, if I had to take just 5 bands on a desert island kind of thing.
Okay.
Only listen to these artists the rest of my life. Number 1, I have Slipknot. Because...
Number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because, Pantera is my number 2, and they would be number 1 if, Slipknot is like, I see them progress as an artist.
Yeah, right.
Kind of thing.
That makes sense.
I'll get into them a little later. But yeah, Slipknot, Pantera. We've got Korn. Stick with the 90s.
I almost had Korn in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very heavy.
They're all of those bands are groovy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And they're all 90s.
Yep.
Slipknot.
All my bands are 90s bands.
Yeah.
Wow. Except for Lamb of God, I guess.
They started in the 90s though, so we've also talked a lot about how like what's the best decade of metal?
Like the 90s.
A lot. It's
you get a lot of heavy hitters in that era. Man.
Each decade offers something
either 90s
unique.
or 2000 early 2000s, like 2000 to 2010.
Yeah.
Cuz there's some great ones in there too.
Yeah. As I say a lot, 80s was the heyday. I feel like that's when the most growth was happening. But the 90s was like
the dirtiest.
When perfection of metal was in a way. And then 2000s again went back to like I don't know.
Cleaner sound.
Yeah, cleaner, like, I don't know if experimental is the right word, but like definitely like a lot of new things.
Yeah. And now it's like proggy shit.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, at number 4, my favorite just pure old school metal band is Judas Priest. And I gotta have a British band on there.
Right.
They're gonna be the one. The reason, man, it's tough. Judas Priest is cool because they got 70 shit, they got 80 shit, they got 90 shit, 2000 shit.
Yeah.
2010 shit. They're the only band that can say that they've done that, which...
Metallica.
Not 70s, though.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like
Celtic Frost. I'm just kidding.
Good one, yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, my favorite, at number 5, though, my favorite modern new band is definitely Code Orange.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I mean...
That was a dark horse.
A little bit, but that's why I like them. They're my dark horse, you know? Like,
I'm surprised you took them over Sabbath.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. Like
you like Black Sabbath more than Code Orange.
Yeah, I'm sure I do, but like...
You listen to more Code Orange nowadays? Is that what it is?
Not even that. It's just I think a part of it is I've just listened to Sabbath so much in my life.
That's so true. Like with old good bands, like
yeah,
Metallica. I never listen to Metallica. Well, not never, but like I just never choose them.
Yeah.
If they come on, I won't skip. I just never choose them. Same with Nirvana, kind of.
That's fair. That's
like
very
you were
fair.
saying that about Nirvana, right?
Yeah. I probably would never skip a Nirvana song. But yeah, like the reason I don't have Sabbath is like all those bands I just listed on my list. Like, yeah, sure, there's some albums by them that I like better than others, but I wouldn't say there's a bad album by any of those bands.
Okay, that's a good point, yeah.
And I mean, Judas Priest has been around as long as Sabbath, but I like every Priest album to an extent. Sabbath is, and they're the oldest metal band, so of course they're going to have some not so great albums, like the ones without Ozzy or Dio or Ian Gillan, like mid-late 80s, they put out some not too great things.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say the same about my list. I like every single album from them, except Marilyn Manson. He has a couple of ones that are just like flat out like, I guess I'd say not bad, but he has a couple that are like kind of like, you shouldn't have put this out, bro.
Right. Like what's your shining example?
Born Villain and like The High End of Low.
Okay, yeah.
That could have take the hits from those two albums and make that the album.
Yeah.
And also that's about it. Those are the only two that I'm like really like ooh.
Fair enough. Let me ask you a question. Is your pick of the week an album by one of those bands?
It's a song by one of those bands.
Your pick of the week?
Oh yeah, it is an album.
Okay. I was just gonna have you go through each artist real quick and tell me your favorite album by them, just so I know.
Okay. Marilyn Manson. It was Hollywood all throughout high school, but it's Antichrist Superstar for sure. It is,
yeah.
Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake, Alice in Chains, Dirt, obviously. Pantera, I'm going to say Far Beyond Driven.
I know you were, yeah.
How'd you know that?
Because I know you like that better than Vulgar Display, which is mine.
I don't know if I like it better. I just listen to Vulgar too much.
Yeah, but it's so perfect.
No, it's not.
It is. It is.
Far Beyond Driven's like heavier, kind of.
Yeah, but there's Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills on that one.
Yeah, but Vulgar also has like Regular People. I don't really like that.
I don't get why you don't like that song.
I don't know. But anyways, 9 Inch Nails, Downward Spiral.
Okay.
All the heaviest ones, basically.
Yes. And just to get the record straight, Slipknot 1 is your favorite Slipknot album.
For sure.
What is your favorite Korn album?
Korn.
That's fair. You know, I like Take a Look in the Mirror.
That's such an interesting choice because Follow the Leader, Life is Peachy.
I know. It's
Issues. Ooh, the chills.
Those first 6 with the original members are all perfection.
Mm-hmm.
That I like Take a Look in the Mirror because it's the pinnacle of that. I feel like it's the filthiest in terms of vocals.
Okay.
He's got like a death growl kind of going on.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just
interesting.
It's got so much attitude. Could you even name your favorite Priest album?
No. Firepower?
I can't even. That's the thing about Priest. It's so hard to. They are the band who I have the hardest time picking my favorite album because there's 5 fucking decades worth of shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
If I had to, it'd probably be Defenders of the Faith. Just them at their prime peak 80s shit.
Yep.
Code Orange, Forever is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Underneath was really good too.
Right. And I listened to Underneath, which is cool. So,
of the albums you said, and our pick of the week, and we might make an argument, do a little showdown over which one is which one is the best. What is your favorite metal album of all time?
Antichrist Superstar.
Okay.
I still am not sick of it.
That's very fair.
I can listen to it back to front like this week and love it.
Yeah. Fair.
What's yours?
Mine is actually Slipknot by Slipknot.
Antichrist Superstar wins out.
No.
Filthier.
Yeah, right.
More concept-y.
More concept-y, sure, but...
You know I love concept album. Okay. More filthy? I don't know about that. But, Antichrist Superstar is like Trent Reznor.
I know.
Marilyn Manson.
I know.
Tuya Ramirez. Slipknot's like 3 people and then like 6 backup vocalists and like instrumentalists. Like,
so
it took 9 people to make Slipknot, but Antichrist Superstar was essentially made by like 4 or 5 dudes.
Okay.
And it's better.
No.
It's a concept. The album art...
Because it's a concept means it's better?
Well, I mean...
better story, yeah, but
better story.
Not better
sounding. Slipknot by Slipknot has some throwaways, I feel like.
It's your favorite Slipknot album.
Yeah. I still think it has like some weird parts. Like some of the rapping I don't really like that much.
No, yeah. Here, let me just... Before I say this, let me ask you...
I thought this was a showdown.
No, I know.
I'm just picking out the bad shit. Obviously, I love both these albums.
I know. I could decimate Marilyn Manson right now, but I'm not going to.
You decimate Marilyn Manson or the album? Because Slipknot by Slipknot, we're talking about albums.
I know.
Slipknot by Slipknot, this is another argument. That album takes cuts that were written by a completely different band.
What?
Like, aren't there like 5 songs on Slipknot that Antonio Corsi was the original vocalist on? Like Spit It Out, like that's not Corey Taylor's original lyrics.
There are pieces of old songs that turned into songs on that album.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Like that's not even the most Corey
it's
Taylor
their
Slipknot
debut album. It's their first album.
Yeah, but they also had like Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. That's basically Slipknot is basically Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat Part 2 with a new vocalist.
Okay, let me paint a picture this way. Without Antichrist Superstar, the metal stays relatively the same.
No.
Relatively, I said. Slipknot changed the game. It set a new bar for how heavy could be.
You don't have Antichrist Superstar, you don't have Marilyn Manson, you don't have the Antichrist of metal of the 90s. The scapegoat. The single person that everyone said, you're the reason that America's fucked and you're a metal artist. That's what metal is. The essence of metal is we want the rest of America to look at us and be like, you're what's wrong with society. And we're like, you're right. That's what Marilyn Manson did.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that Slipknot is better.
Fair.
No, and I was gonna ask you.
We're not gonna get anywhere.
And like Antichrist is my favorite Manson album.
Yeah,
and
but
Slipknot is your favorite Slipknot album.
Right. But you're also not a huge. You said Manson never penetrated your top 10, right?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
So. What's your enjoyment level of Antichrist Superstar in terms of Slipknot? Like, put it in perspective for me.
I would listen to Antichrist Superstar after Slipknot in Iowa. If
So
that makes sense.
you highly enjoy Antichrist.
I do highly enjoy it very, very much.
You just don't like the rest of his discography as much?
If it wasn't for like the high and the low and shit like that, Slipknot has a better discography.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. They were more selective.
Yeah.
Which in a good way.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you, like, what is your reasoning for Antichrist being your album? Like, why that one?
See, it's either that one or Hollywood for me,
Mm-hmm.
and Antichrist is just heavier.
Okay.
They're both concept albums. They both have slow parts. Hollywood has more slow parts. They're both like very anti-establishment. Like, I wrote this album for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Antichrist Superstar is more like fuck everyone.
Yeah.
Just fuck everyone.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. It's just way more like pissed off.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And well.
What you want to move on?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's your? Oh yeah, yours Slipknot. Do you have anything else you want to say about Slipknot by Slipknot?
I was just gonna say the reason it's my favorite, and I'm kind of contradicting myself here. I'm surprised you didn't point me out for that. Is on the Slipknot episode, I picked Iowa.
Yeah.
Over Slipknot.
Oh yeah.
But the reason I'm going with Slipknot now, it's like, I don't know. It's not that it's my favorite in the sense that it means more to me. Like,
I told you, it's also better than Iowa.
Like it's
Iowa.
Yeah, I would say Iowa is better.
Actually, yeah, I can see that. But Slipknot is just more unique.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. It's their debut album. No one had heard anything like that before.
So you agree that Slipknot is the best Slipknot album?
Not the best, but it's
your favorite.
Dude, it's I don't know. The reason I think the whole reason I picked it is the fact that it came out in the 90s.
Oh,
I just think that's sick. Like, it's a part of the 20th century, but just really fucked to think about because like it set the bar for the 21st century. And I was born in 98, so like it technically came out during my lifetime, even though I didn't discover Slipknot until years later, obviously.
Right.
So, for those reasons, it just means you get what I'm saying. Like it's
very nostalgic.
When I found this album, my life was changed.
Yeah.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into Iowa and all the rest. So,
right.
The end.
Okay.
Yes.
Trivia?
Yes.
You go first.
Okay, Georgie, I'm going to stump you one last time.
Yeah, right.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
What are the only artists whose shirts I have worn multiple times on this pod?
Can you give me the quantity of artists? Like, how many do I have to hit? Like how many are there that you've worn multiple times?
So you have to ask me a question to answer a question.
Bro, you got to give me more context.
Why?
Can I hit like 2 of them or do I have to hit like 10? All right, let me think here. Slipknot?
I'll tell you it's not 10.
Slipknot?
Slipknot.
Pantera?
Yeah.
Do I win? That's it, too?
No.
Perfect. That's all you had.
No.
Well, how many do I have to fucking hit? How many are there?
There's one more you have to get.
Oh. Slayer.
No.
Damn it.
I've never worn Slayer on this show.
I thought you wore one for your the one with your dad.
Soundgarden.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Korn?
Wow, I never wore Slayer.
I wore Slayer multiple times.
That's a fucking shame of me.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I never wore Korn either.
You have multiple band shirts of these guys, and I ran out, and you didn't even wear them. You asshole.
Yeah, I am an asshole. Well, I was very selective about what shirts I wore based on the theme of the episode.
Right.
We never had a thrash episode, never had a new metal episode.
Yeah.
And people listening don't get on our shit because we didn't have episodes like that. Those are probably our two favorite genres.
Yeah.
We just figured
it would have just been a rehash of everything we already talk about.
We talk about bands in those subgenres so much.
Every week.
Yeah.
Like Korn and Slipknot are mentioned every single episode for some odd reason.
Yeah. And so are at least one of the big four every week. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. But the other one, you said Slipknot, Pantera, Code Orange.
Oh.
I wore my Forever shirt when Evan was on.
Yeah.
For the hardcore episode. Then I wore my other one for the Valentine's Day episode because I wanted Reba Myers to be my Valentine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got me?
Thank you.
Who bestowed the name John 5 on John 5? Damn, I really thought you were going to get this fast. That was a joke question, but that's the real question now. Who did it?
Marilyn Manson.
That was a joke. The real question is...
Oh my God, fuck you.
When he left this band in 1998 to be bestowed the name John 5 by Marilyn Manson, what band did he leave to join Marilyn Manson and become John 5? Because before he was just whatever the fuck his name is.
Is it a band I would know?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would know the band that John 5 played for.
And left to be in Marilyn Manson.
John 5.
He hangs out with Nikki Sixx.
John 5 does?
Yeah.
So is Nikki Sixx in the band?
No, that was just a random fact.
I feel like I should know this.
I feel like you would.
But I don't think I do. So.
David Lee Roth.
Oh my God.
That's kind of a trick question because his
so
solo
funny.
shit.
Right. No, but see, I feel like I've heard that, but like I would have never got it.
Yeah.
I would have never got that.
That's kind of why I picked it. I was like, this is a really good one.
Yeah,
like
that is good.
You listen to all that shit. So
yeah. Well, we stumped each other.
All right, one hot.
Yeah.
I'll go first because yours is a long thank you.
It is, yes.
So and I want to like kind of end with that almost.
Right.
My one hot is just basically saying, I know we've been saying this for like the past couple episodes, but evil never dies. Brendan's gonna be our first guest on the Hours of Power. Me and Trent are taking over. Like, I feel like as metalheads, we don't really like to like say goodbyes kind of thing, or like we don't really. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like this doesn't have to be a sad thing, you know? Like,
right.
Like metal is what gets us through the day. Like metal is like your rock. Right. So it's like I'm not gonna get sad about the pod ending. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get happy that I get to do Hours of Power with Trent.
Yeah.
You know, it's like as long as there's metal playing, like everything is great.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
So that's basically it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said that any better myself.
All right.
Yeah, like George said, my one hot minute is essentially just a thank you list. Just thanking everyone who supported this pod. Most of these George will agree with.
Yep.
First and foremost, got to thank my dad. He's definitely probably the biggest fan of the show.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a guest, obviously, all that good stuff. When he was on, I think he did it for his 100 minute, maybe. He also did a thank you list, thanking a lot of people.
Yep.
Some of those people I just want to say real quick. Curtis and Damon, some of our like most frequent concert going buddies, they've seen episodes of this.
Cool.
I don't know if they watch every one, but I know they have seen at least an episode. My dad dropped a lot of names of people who got us like free concert tickets over the years. So I just want to say thank you to anyone who's ever let me see a concert for free.
Right.
Because I mean,
nothing better than that.
No, literally. Friends would have to be next. I think we'd probably each want to thank our roommates for not
putting up with us.
Yeah, putting up with our
being
shit.
Quiet for an hour straight while we do this. Yeah, so thanks, Trent, Eric, Wade.
Yeah, my roommates don't watch this, so they can go fuck themselves. No, but I mean, yeah, they did a pretty good job of not interrupting for the most part.
Right.
I would say. Corey and Alex across the hall.
Yeah.
Corey, obviously, he was very supportive of us at the beginning.
Yeah.
Talked to him the other day. He said he's fallen a little behind, but he still watches it, which is cool.
Dope.
Alex is a metalhead as well. In terms of true friends, though, not like my roommates who don't fucking watch this shit. Right. Definitely got to thank Mitch and Andrew, their whole family, the Shane family, just because, Mitch has watched every episode of this, which is awesome.
Yep. Just saw those guys over the weekend. If you're watching this, it's good to. We had a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, it was a great weekend, and they were guests. Obviously, their family's done a lot for me over the years, so just had to throw that in there. Andy, of course, he was on.
Yep.
The whole Polis family, I know. Mr. Polis, Andy told me, has seen at least an episode.
Cool.
I think, yeah. So that is cool. Taylor, who you met over this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw Billy in there too because he was on the pod with all those guys.
Yeah.
Shout out Billy.
Yeah.
And then Taylor.
Yeah. Taylor's been he was talking your ear off over the weekend about how this pod has been getting into metal, which is honestly, if I could say that I got one person into metal by doing this, I will be that's all I could have hoped to get out of this. Yeah. Yeah, the whole McCarty family for that matter. I know his dad was talking to me about the pod. I think he's seen at least an episode as well.
Dope.
Chance, obviously.
Yep. Good to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, that was great. The whole Robertson family,
Yeah.
My best friend's second family growing up kind of thing. Liam, of course.
Yep.
Trent out there.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Nick Bobbledyke.
Yep.
What's Billy's last name?
Billy Scharf.
Scharf, yeah, Billy. Andrew Herner.
Yep.
I put Isaiah just because,
of course. He's listened to a few.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Cool. And I know he kind of put the idea of the Rage episode
100%
together, even though he couldn't be on. Speaking of people not being on, I would not like to thank Josh Gomez.
If you're watching this, we would like to not thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's
all fun.
Yeah, it's
not
a big deal.
You could have responded, bro. That's all we're saying. And he does do some really cool things.
Yeah.
For charity.
Check him out.
Yeah. Not trying to shit on him.
Yeah.
One person I would really like to thank, though, he's kind of like the unofficial third member of this pod, is Evan Cerasi.
Yeah. He made us the bumpers.
Yeah.
Intro, outro.
He's the voice you hear every time before you hear me and George.
Yep.
On this pod.
Yep.
Like George said, he put all the music together.
Yeah. Shout out graphics team too for making us the dope graphics.
I was gonna say, what's her name? Sarah. What's her name? The girl with the glasses. I don't know.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were at like a station meeting once, and we were talking about it, and I was just I was just like, thank you because I think the Metal Pod logo looks absolutely sick.
Yeah, I do too. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing Evan does say at the end of every episode is thank you to McKenna Lowndes, the programming director at Impact, Ember Keenutsky, the what's her role? The station manager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Station manager.
General manager of Impact, Mr. Jeremy Whiting.
Thanks, Jeremy.
And his brother John, who I had as a professor. They're from the LO, so
they're from Lake Orion?
They are from Lake Orion.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Obviously. Obviously got to thank Sarah, Jack, and Jay, the whole Hours crew.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks again, you guys, for having us on the 420 themed Hours. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. We haven't even done it yet, but just everyone at Impact for that matter. I mean, the station as a whole.
I'll do a shout out Ryan Collins. He's the podcast coordinator.
Right.
Thanks, Ryan. Ryan Rabinowitz as well. Love you guys. Henry Menegos. I can't say everyone at Impact will be here all night. But,
right. Hank for sure.
Yeah. He's our audio guy to the moon for the Common Concert series.
Right.
He's been our right-hand man for that. So.
Right. I guess one of the last things I have here is just on the off chance that any metal-related artist, musician, creator, however you want to put it, anyone who has ever influenced me in any way, like, thanks for making some kick-ass music and art over the years. Anyone else I may have forgotten, I'm sorry, but you know who you are. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank you, sir, for being a great co-host.
Hey, thanks to you too, man. I'm getting choked up, kind of.
Yeah, sad.
Couldn't have asked for a better co-host. This is
honestly
the inception of the Metal Pod was really started in Britain, and then we took it back home.
Yeah,
because obviously that's where me and Flummy met.
Right.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, you heard Hours of Power? And we were like, fuck yeah, but we can't go on it because...
Yeah. And then we're like, we'll just make our own
Yeah,
thing.
we'll just... Exactly. And here we are.
That's kind of funny that the Metal Pod started where metal started.
Yeah.
And then we took it back to the States, which now makes the best metal.
Which perfected it, yeah.
So...
Damn.
That's kind of funny.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either till just now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The birthplace of metal, it really is England. So shout out to England. Last
of course,
one.
For sure. Up the irons.
Anyone else you want to thank?
No, I'm good.
I think that's it. All right, let's do song rec and close the case on this.
Yeah,
Closed casket.
Ooh.
Just kidding. My favorite metal song of all time is Antichrist Superstar off of Antichrist Superstar.
Really?
That riff makes me feel like I won $1 billion. When I hear that riff come on, it makes me feel like I just won $1 million. I don't know how else to explain it. It's
That's
just
interesting.
Dopamine floods my brain when I hear that riff.
Yeah.
And it's a song about being going from a worm, basically, is the concept of the album. Growing up in America, being a kid, and then finally entering your final metamorphosis as the Antichrist, and then bringing about the destruction of mankind because you hate everyone.
Hype.
That's me in a nutshell. So it's heavy. It's sweet. The outro is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. What do you got?
That's how I feel about Irresponsible Hate Anthem. That's my favorite Manson song by far.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
It was that easy for you to pick your favorite song.
I just thought about my favorite song off my favorite album from my favorite metal artist.
Right, that's fair.
So kind of just methodical.
See, I can't even pick my favorite song off of Slipknot by Slipknot. That's
a little harder because this is the title track, so it's it kind of makes sense that it's
It is
purity.
In a word, purity is really good. I like the breakdown of Sick. I like the lyrics of Eyeless. Surfacing is just an anthem.
So I'd pick Surfacing if I was you. That would just be because that's an easy maggot anthem. That's my favorite.
Diluted is a filthy deep track.
Yeah.
No Life is a filthy
Scissors
deep
is good
track.
too.
Yeah. See, it's hard, but it is, in a word, impossible for me to pick one song. But I think the song that really encapsulates not only this pod, but my relationship with metal in a lot of ways is Goddamn Electric.
Okay.
It's just, it's an anthem, dude.
That's great.
I'm
changing use Goddamn Electric.
I was gonna say I was gonna read some lyrics just in case people haven't heard it. And,
do it.
The opening line of the song is, "There's a part of me that's always 16."
Hype. It's awesome.
I found the secret of eternal youth. And then it goes on to say, "One hand on the bottle, the other a shaking fist. Rejuvenated yet isolated. No pressure from the outside. My sight is goddamn electric. And then, you obviously know that classic line, your trust is in whiskey, weed, and Black Sabbath and Slayer.
Right.
That's just, doesn't get more metal than that.
Yeah. Pantera's, their underlying theme is like, once I was a weakling, I guess, to use Phil's words, but now I've grown into a monster kind of thing.
Strength!
It's basically, yeah. It's basically like Pantera's awesome because it's like totally just like a 180 from what you used to be. That's like the theme of the band. It's like,
it's about becoming.
Self-actualization. Like, fuck what you were. You are what you are now.
Yeah.
That's why they're on my top 5.
It's goddamn electric. And just, the closing, the chorus, just to close it out real quick. Don't waste your time. And this is a message for all you out there. Don't waste your time. Embrace it. Inhale it. And then you'll know yourself. The change in you is goddamn electric.
There you go.
And if that's not the most metal fucking song ever made, I don't know what is.
Resurrection Man.
Yeah, Resurrection.
That one's, I've been on that. It's so good.
I know. It's so filthy.
I was born in a cemetery.
Probably the most filthy opening line I've
And the
ever
riff,
heard.
too, is just ham.
There's like 3 different parts to it.
Yeah.
Like 3 different breakdowns. It's really thrashy. It's really hardcore.
Yeah, you can hear the hardcore in Randy's part. But
Best song of 2020 by far. It's not even close.
All right. Let's end her.
Yeah.
Goodbye forever.
Yeah. We're going to put a very special playlist together, of course, with a lot of the shit we talked about today. There's going to be a link for that in the description below, as always.
Tune into ours.
Yeah.
10 p.m. to 2 a.m., baby. Every Thursday.
On Impact 89 FM,
89
baby.
FM. There you go, right there.
Yep.
Every pod. That's been the closer, and now
it has.
Yeah, all right.
And now you're really carrying the torch onto that. So, any last words?
Just hit the metal one last time, and that'll be it.
With a firm handshake. Closing out.
It was a pleasure.
Metal!
If I had any balls, I'd flip this table and smash the
table. Metal! Gotta get 2 in. The end, boys.
You've been listening to The Metal Pod, a production of Impact 89 FM. Our thanks to Impact's General Manager Jeremy Whiting, Station Manager Amber Kienutsky, and Programming Director McKenna Lowndes. Tune in next time for more updates on all things metal. The Metal Pod.